Good everyone. So my name's Stanley Henry. I founded a company called The Attention Seeker. You might have seen us on TikTok maybe. Has anyone in this room seen any videos by The Attention Seeker? Yeah, there's a couple hands up. A few people here. We might be a little bit offensive for some of you. This is us here on The Attention Seeker. And just to give, if you haven't seen us, here's a quick little video so you get an idea of who we are.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. I love your presentations.
Reasons you need to propose to Claire. Do you like how I'm Cupid?
I'm ready to find this picture.
She's hot. You're punching. I might go Mr. Steal Your Girl if you don't propose soon. And you only got her because she's into bald dudes. Fun fact, I can also be a bald dude.
So you're trying to steal my girl, steal my business.
I'm giving you a chance for me to not steal your girl. Claire, when people stop asking when you're gonna propose, look how happy she looks. I will salary sacrifice so you can buy a ring.
Really?
On the condition that you let me park on site for a month.
I'm fucking done. That's all. You're
I don't know how this got here.
Connor needs to fucking go do some work and stop losing all our camera shoes.
I will help with anything wedding related. I plan my own wedding in a month, free of charge, and I can carve up hella shapes on the dance floor.
I feel like this presentation is the best presentation you've ever done.
Anything for Claire. Thoughts, questions, concerns, complaints, qualms, engagement ring ideas.
Yeah, fuck, it works.
My offer of free of charge help, salary sacrifice, and me not hitting on your girl. You have 12 months to make it the best thing ever.
This is the most reasonable pitch you've ever presented. I feel like we've come a long way.
Do I get a pay rise now? I thought I'd just get you while you were happy with me.
I'm really happy with your gradient. Is that it?
Cheers.
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 But some of you might have seen that, and I've now we've got like 5 million people trying to convince me to marry my girlfriend. So thank you very much to Joni. But first of all, who knows who this person here is? Put your hand up. All right, so you all know Kim Kardashian, right? Yep. There's a few too many boys wolf whistling. Next up, I've got to stand back here to click this clicker. What about this guy? Who? Put your hand up if you know who this guy is. Yep, most people. What about this guy here? Yeah, okay, so we all know who Mr. Beast is too. So when you think of these three people, who can tell me what they all have in common? Famous, social media, whole big following. Yeah, most of all of that. Whatever you said, I can't really hear you, but yeah, let's just go yes. But you're right, they're all famous. They all have a lot of social media following. They got very big brands. They're all very wealthy because of it. They've all built very successful businesses off of the back of it, right? Of building their brand and building their reputation, the amount of attention that they get. And so as a business, as the attention seeker, this is what our business does. So our business helps other businesses or other people build their brands. But first of all, if we think about Kim K, and we think about how she got started, and there's a few too many people who know what that video is in this room. This happened back 2007. But before that, she was the friend of Paris Hilton. She was an unknown friend of Paris Hilton, right? So people didn't know who she was. She was just in the side of images with Paris Hilton, who was the famous Kim K of her day. Before that, she was the daughter of this guy, Robert Kardashian, and he's famous for getting that guy, O.J. Simpson, off murder, which was a pretty clear-cut case, but he still managed to get him off. So, a very long time that this career and brand's been building. Elon Musk, again, we all know him for what? What's he most famous for? Tesla, yeah, that's what I can hear a lot of. But, you know, back in like 99 or 96 or something, he exited out of Zip2, his very first company, made a whole bunch of money, started working on PayPal, SpaceX, back in the early 2000s. And then after that, he bought into Tesla. And so that's another thing that a lot of people get confused about, is that he didn't start Tesla, he bought into it and he took control of it and became the CEO. But that's what he's most famous for. And then recently, he's become infamous for his treatment of Twitter and what he's doing there, and he's still to be determined if he'll become a genius or an idiot for what he's doing there. But he's built all of this off of that personal brand that he has. Tesla, as a car manufacturer, spends $0 on advertising. Most car companies spend billions or hundreds of millions. He spends zero, yet it's got the complete domination of the EV marketplace, right? As we all know. Mr. Beast, well, he started putting his first video out about 12 years ago, right? Making gaming, pretty average gaming videos about Minecraft and all that sort of stuff, right? But then last year, who's watched this video? Right? Most of the room has seen this video. Most of the world on YouTube, 363 million views. One of the most watched sort of story videos ever. And another one, 260 million views, right? Massive, massive brand that built over a very long time. 12 years, in fact, to get to the level of consistent output. I think he's done something like 700 and something videos that he's put out on YouTube on his main channel. Because those of you who follow him know he's got a whole bunch of them, right? So now if we think about it, yeah, they're all rich, famous, they know everything, but what else is common with these guys? Well, we just said they're rich, so yep, but what else? What else has been similar to these guys' path and journey to become who they are? I wouldn't say they all came from nothing. Hard work, yeah, time. It took time. None of these guys are overnight successes, none of them. It all took a lot of time to build up to where they got to. And they did it through focusing on their brand and their reputation, right? So that all of us know these names before they go and pitch something to you and sell it to you. So that's what we do here at the Attention Seeker. Our job is to help clients and help people build brands like that. And we do that because we know in business that the stronger the brand, the better the business. It's as simple as that. Like McDonald's is all the crap that McDonald's gets and how unhealthy it is and terrible they are a booming business because their brand is so strong, right? I know I shouldn't be eating McDonald's, look at my gut, but I'll eat it every day of the week because of how strong their brand is. So this is what we help with. Now, the journey to get to this point took a little while. So this here is some moments in me and my business and my partner's, I guess, journey. The first one starts is where we started from. So just like you guys, I didn't just appear one day with a business that was turning over an X amount of money. I had to begin somewhere. And my life started as a hotelier. I used to be a general manager of hotels. I was living in Australia at the time, and I realized when I was on holiday with my partner Claire for the first time in a couple of years that anything I did in my career would never be enough for the owners of the hotel or the business, right? They're always going to want more. And so during this holiday, I had my bosses keep emailing me, ask me, where am I? What are you doing? Why aren't you in the hotel? Couldn't just let me relax on my holiday. So it was at that point that I decided I need to go out on my own and do something for myself. Just like you guys in this Young Enterprise scheme trying to figure out what you want to do as part of your entrepreneurial journey. That was my moment when I decided it was what I wanted to do. I then did the only thing I knew what to do as someone who didn't have millions of dollars in my bank to start a business. I started putting out content. I started building a brand. I knew how to use LinkedIn of all places to build a brand and start to interact with the people I wanted to do business with. I then met some mentors like Drew here and some other people that we've met along the way who have helped nurture us and helped teach us what we need to do, know and do in business to be successful. COVID happened as well during this journey. So we moved back in 2019, October. 6 months after being here, lockdown started to happen, the pandemic began, which for us was the first hurdle that we had to face, we had to overcome. You guys all know, you all lived through it. For a business, I couldn't go back to hospitality. The hotel industry was decimated. And so I had to just double down and go harder on what I decided to do. And slowly but surely, our team started to come together. This was our first little team photo shoot that we did when we actually had a team. So I had 4 staff. This is a bit after lockdown, so in 2021. And just as we thought things were starting to go well, the August 2021 lockdowns happened. And we got thrown back into lockdown for an extended period of time, as those of you in this room remember, right? And it was at this point our revenue's ground to a halt. I had a team, there were 7 of us at this point, and so we were a bit worried about where the future was going to go. I also then thought that I would take on some government grants to help other businesses with their marketing as a way of getting cash flow. But unfortunately, when you take business from the government, they pay when they want, right? The government pay whenever they want. They got the biggest purse in house, so they decide when they pay. And there was a bit of a delay on those payments. And in February 2022, we were down to $162 in our bank account. And to put that in perspective, our wage cost every month is about $55,000. So I needed $55,000 to pay wages, and I had $162 left in my bank account. So it was pretty dire. However, we knew that the only way to get through business is to push, right? You have to grow. If you start getting into an austerity mindset, or like I've got to cut costs and protect myself mindset, your business will fall over. So we had to grow. We knew we had to start hiring some more people. I think Connor's somewhere in that photo up there. And then here, we knew that not only do we have to hire more people, we have to put out more content, we have to focus on brand, focus on all the things that brought us to today. And just as we started hiring more people, we thought, yeah, we're on the roll here. We stupidly thought that, why don't we just start fitting out this dream studio of ours, this 328 square meter place in Grey Lynn, and build a content studio? Because why not, when you've got no money in the bank, figure out something else to spend your money on? But after about 3 months of fitting it out, we ended up fitting out this content studio, right? This amazing studio where me and the team are able to create content at will, whenever we want. We're able to take our clients in there. We're able to bring other influencers and other brands and creators into the space and do cool shit, essentially, is why we built it. And so that's our journey. That's how we got to this point. And then, thank you. And then we did that mostly through LinkedIn. So one of the things I want to talk about, we started with TikTok here because, let's be honest, the demographic in this building probably uses TikTok a lot more than LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is where we did business, and it's where business is done in social media. And so it's why we talk about it a lot. This is my profile and what we do on there. How many people, put your hands up, are you on LinkedIn? Or you do anything on LinkedIn? Yeah, look, hardly anyone, right? But the thing is, you're all doing this young enterprise scheme of trying to start business. And if you go ask business owners in New Zealand which social media platform they use, this is the one that they're on. So if you want to do business with other businesses, or be in the world where investors are, or people who can distribute your product, this is where you find them. It's not just for old people, and it's not just for finding a job. As we flick through, and we get to the point that we're at now, I'm going to show you a quick little video of us in the studio that we built and the team we have.
Mate, there's a doorbell. Come on in. Ooh, the office gossips. Don't tell them anything. Welcome to the Attention Seeker. We might look like the average marketing agency, but we're so much worse. Yeah, have a coffee. The barista is world class. There's our wonderful slaves. They like to hang together where it's safe. Oh, and dancing on the cycle wall is Joni, our resident TikToker. She lives here now. We call this room Obscura. The photos we take in here give you instant rockstar status. Next up, it's the AV Club, where you can talk shit for days and will make you sound intelligent. Moving through to the office, there's our team working on some very important tasks. And they're the ones who planned, shot, produced, and edited this film for you in under an hour. Not bad, eh?
So that's us. That's our team. That's what we do. And that's the team that we built after that journey that we went through. And we're pretty proud of where we got to. But the point of that story is that it took a long time. It took a very long time to get that point. It took a very long time of constant content, constant brand, constant selling, constant community building, right? And now we've got this TikTok thing. So mid last year, we met this person here. And so we're already doing a lot of content. Who knows who this person is? Put your hand up if you watched any of her videos. Yeah, the little girl sitting down in front here, filming. So this is Joni. So when we met Joni, she had 430,000 followers on TikTok. We had no idea about TikTok. And I said, let's just hire her. Let's figure it out and see what we can do, because we wanted to make better video for LinkedIn. One thing led to another, and we averaged 10 or 12 million views every single month on TikTok, and that's growing. And what that's done is just opened up our audience to so many more people. There's not a lot of small B2B businesses in Auckland who can walk into a room of teenagers and at least 3 people put their hand up because they know who they are. You know, that's not a normal thing. So it's given us access to an audience that we'd never have dreamed about, and it allows us to do so much more. But it took a long time, right? It's been a lot of effort, a lot of time and money being put into this. So as we sort of like talk that through, there's a bunch of points up here that for me are steps that you guys can take away in this journey that you're about to go on in terms of the Young Enterprise Scheme and how you can build brand. Now, the first point, which I hope you've all figured out, is that it takes time. Building brand isn't fast, right? But building brand and personal brand especially helps you with all the endeavors that you're about to go on. Anytime you want to talk to someone to make a sale, or you need some support from someone to help you with your business or your idea, or you need investors, your personal brand is what's going to open that door for them, right? And then the brand as the product or service that you have is going to allow customers to choose you. And so here's 9-step program to becoming famous. Maybe not quite that, but the first one is concentrate on TikTok and LinkedIn. Now, those of you who love Instagram and Facebook, if that's anyone in this room, they're still valid. YouTube's obviously, all roads lead to YouTube. But LinkedIn and TikTok, why we believe in them so much is their ability to get organic reach, right? So what I mean by organic reach is that you're able to put out a video, put out some content, and actually get a lot of people to view it. If you did that on Instagram, you'll get 4 views, 2 of them will be your parents, and the other 2 will be your best mates. On TikTok, you can put a video up, and the next day you have 4 million people see it. On LinkedIn, your audience can go from 0 to a couple thousand within a couple months, and you can have a lot of the people that you want seeing your stuff. So that's the first one. Concentrate on those 2 platforms if you're starting out and you're building from scratch. If you've already got 100,000 Instagram followers, then mate, you're onto a good thing. Why are you listening to me? The second one is about TikTok and the way TikTok works. So we think of TikTok as Netflix, not as Instagram. And for those of you in this room, you might get that more than, say, the 50-year-olds I usually do this presentation to, who just think it's another social media. But as you know, you go to TikTok for entertainment, right? You go there for entertainment, not necessarily for social interaction like you would on Instagram and Facebook. So you got to make sure you're creating content that engages people, that's entertaining, that they actually care about and want to watch. The third point is be consistent. So where a lot of people go wrong in their pursuit of brand is that they'll start in a flash in a hurry, they'll put out a bunch of content, it'll get next to no views, and then they'll stop. And they'll go, oh, that didn't work, let's do something different. But actually the reality is that this stuff takes time, and that's the first point we want to make today. Mr. Beast's first video didn't go 100 million views. It took him years to get to the point where he could put out content that actually worked and build his brand. Yes, that first video's had a stupid amount of views now, but that's because, he's Mr. Beast, right? The fourth one is be careful, and I still didn't fix it from last time, did I, Chris? Be careful who you sign with. So one thing that we see in the industry, and something that we saw with Joni when she came on, is that the content creator industry is still very much in its infancy, and brands are exploiting young creators for their distribution, right? So they're seeing someone with 100,000 followers, hey, let's give this guy $1,000 to make a video for us, put it on his channel or her channel, and let's reap the rewards of getting that exposure for $1,000, right? Now, for a lot of you, $1,000 might be awesome. You might be like, yeah, give me that $1,000 all day. But if you go to a proper, like Saatchi & Saatchi or DDB, one of these big creative advertising agencies, and you ask them to do the same thing, they're going to charge the client $1 million, right? 1,000 times more than what they're paying a young creator to create it, script it, distribute it, all that stuff on their own. They're going to give them $1,000, or they're going to go to a creative agency and give them $1 million, right? And then they're still going to have to put ad spend on top. So just make sure who you sign with, because if you do truly build a brand, you will get offers from people. So just be careful and be smart about it. Think of it like an entrepreneur. The fifth one is focus on building the biggest audience possible. So you guys are young, and you have a long time ahead of you. And so what you do as a business and what you do as a career can change so much in that time. You're not in a rush to find the final destination, right? Your job right now, if you're building brand, is just to build the strongest brand. You can use that brand for whatever you want in the future. The best example I have is The Rock. So The Rock started off as a wrestler, and now you almost don't even associate Dwayne Johnson as a wrestler anymore with what he does. I mean, he makes movies, he sells tequila, like he does a whole bunch of things. He's sponsorship of Under Armour. So what you go on to do can change, but the most important part is that you have a huge audience of people that you can sell to or that agree with what you want and will purchase the things that you do. The next one, on LinkedIn, for those of you who aren't yet convinced, and you probably aren't, but on LinkedIn, trust me, if there are people that you want to work with, do work with, get investors from, maybe get a career from later on, trust me, they're all on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people who dismiss LinkedIn as just a place for recruitment. But our business, even with the 12 million views we get a month on TikTok, where on LinkedIn we might get 300,000, so massively different audience size, still 90% of our business comes from LinkedIn. That's still how powerful it is, because the people, I don't know if you guys realize this, but like the old people in the world have all the money, and they're all on LinkedIn. So if you want lots of that money, go find them on LinkedIn. And trust me, they're not on TikTok. 7, start putting out content that showcases your journey. So when you're thinking about LinkedIn especially, if you're trying to get people to invest in you or believe in you or work with you, showcase the journey that you're on. Like these same people on LinkedIn, they want to help young people doing cool shit. They really do. They want to help people achieve things because one, they're not threatened by you as a young kid. You're not a competitor business to them. So that's the first thing, right? Because they're still businesses. But second of all, people truly want to help. Like most people in the world are good. And so the people on LinkedIn, if they see your journey and see what you're trying to achieve, they'll reach out and they'll help you. As an example, my nephew last year, who was 16 at the time, he was going into his last year of high school over the summer. He asked me, he's like, Stan, Uncle Stan, can you help me? I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know where I want to go. So I made him record a video of himself asking for support, asking for help. I just want opportunities. And over that summer, he got offered internships for like 1 or 2 days with each of them with Microsoft, the guys at Let's Play Live, so the largest streaming gaming service in Australasia. He did a shoot with the All Blacks, like all these opportunities of all these people on LinkedIn who said, yeah, I'll help you. You sound awesome. Let's give it a crack. Come along for the day and give things a go. So, I mean, if you all do that on LinkedIn, we'll see what happens, but I know that most of you won't. So those of you who do put yourself out there, trust me, there will be people out there who want to help you. That 8th one goes hand in hand with building this biggest audience possible. When you build a big audience, the worst thing you can do is neglect them. You want to build a community. You want to turn that audience into people who know, like, and trust you. And so to do that, you need to engage with them. You need to comment back to their replies. You need to make videos about the things that they ask. You need to include them in the videos that you make or the content that you put out. It's really important that you have a really strong community who believes in you. So when you do go to ask them for something, like buy your particular product or service, that they are more willing to do it because they feel like they're part of your community, right? And lastly, the simple one is just repeat it forever. Brand building doesn't end. There is no reason Mr. Beast has to keep building his brand, right? He could sell off everything he's built for billions of dollars and walk away and live a happy life. But for him, there's so many more opportunities. And as you guys know, Mr. Beast is big on philanthropy, he's big on helping people. So there's all these other things he can achieve and get a lot of benefit from it, right? So as we sort of wrap up these 9 steps, they're pretty simple, but also very hard to do. And as you go out and you start to try build these entrepreneurial journeys that you have, if you don't focus on brand, it's always going to be a hard slog. You're always going to try be building and selling and working real hard to push your product and service. Whereas you have a community who knows, likes, and trusts you, the ability to push that product or service is just so much easier, okay? So, without further ado, any questions? Yeah, good question. So challenges, there's a number. The biggest challenge that I've faced in this business is to get over myself when it comes to talking to strangers. That was the first one I had, right? Like, I was a shy kid from Manarewa. I didn't really want to go out and talk to random people, so it was a real hard thing to do, and I just had to get out there and do more of it. So that was my first challenge. The second challenge is that $162 I had left, cash flow. Without good cash flow, your business will fall over. If you can't pay the bills each month, your business is dead. It's more important than revenue, because revenue doesn't mean anything until it's in your bank account. Yeah, good question. Whatever it takes is a simple answer. But we create content, we build their community for them. So all these things on that last slide that we're telling you to do, people pay us to do it for them. So a lot of business owners, a lot of brands know they need this, but they don't have the resources or the energy or the know-how to do it. So like we can be doing, like so my team's here today, and they are filming me, they're taking photos, doing all sorts of stuff. We'll do that for our clients. And then we'll take all that, we'll create content from it, or we'll go to their offices, create content, we'll create podcasts for them, photo shoots, write stuff for them. Whatever it is that we need to from a content production, we'll also manage communities. So, manage comments, manage replies, manage things like that. So I guess whatever it takes to help that brand get the recognition that they need to be able to sell their product and service. Yeah, so it's pretty vast, but yeah, it encompasses everything. Yep. Okay, so if they already had business, how do they then move into the other side? Is that what you said? Yeah, okay, cool. Real good question. So we get this all the time. It's like, how do we start? And like the dumb, simple answer is the only way to start is to begin, right? Like there is no real chance. Like when Joni, who already had 430,000 followers, right? So you would think that you take someone like that, you throw them in business, and then boom, make content, it goes viral, right? Because they know how to do it. But Joni probably made, 100 TikToks before you had anything go off, before we had anything work. It took time. And so the only way for her to actually get it started was to begin. Just put out content, learn from it, like really understand like what worked, what didn't. If you just put out content and then never look at the analytics, never look at what your community's saying, at the comments and get in the mix of it, you're never going to improve. But if you also try to get the content perfect before you start, then you're never going to win. Like you're just never going to get there. So you need to, like, I don't know if anyone, and hopefully no one's parents work here, but like Air New Zealand put out their first TikTok 2 days ago. And look, it did fairly well, but like it was an ad. It was just an ad that Air New Zealand put out. And they spent all this time getting it together and putting it out. But you'll know if you go watch the Air New Zealand video that it's not TikTok content. That sort of content will not continue to do well on the platform. They know this. Don't get me wrong, Air New Zealand know this, but you can't just get a perfect piece of content and throw it out on these places. Like it takes time. You got to learn what does your community actually want. We never really understand what part of the video will be taken from it, and then what the comments will be. Like questions. This respelling of the word questions just took a life of its own. There are random creators we don't even know who use it in their content now as just a thing. And when we made a t-shirt in Comic Sans questions, and we did one dumb video of it and did it as a joke and sold $90 t-shirts with questions written on it, 55 people bought them. So it was like $5,000 in sales of one video of just a dumb joke. But because like we could never have known that was going to be the thing. So my point is, just put out content, learn from it, and keep on improving of what you do. Yeah, just keep at it, and you'll get there. Cool, thanks guys.